Governor Jeff Landry, how do you justify letting industry and lobbyists call Louisiana landowners liars? How do you justify letting your allies label us Soros puppets and radicals? Why do you remain silent while your own constituents are attacked? When you see this many rebuttals to one video, you're not seeing confidence. You're seeing weakness. This was never about facts, it's only about the money. Believe the paychecks, they say, not the truth. That's their message.
We released one video built entirely on public records, timelines, and documented political relationships surrounding carbon capture and CO2 infrastructure in Louisiana. What followed next? 4 more rebuttal propaganda videos. Instead of trading opinions, we're going to do something very simple. We're going to show you what we said, what they claimed we said, and what the public record actually shows. So let's get started. Here's what we said. When Jeff Landry became governor in 2024, he could have immediately repealed Edwards' climate order, but he didn't. Instead, he kept the entire carbon capture framework intact. Here is what they claim.
Claims that Governor Jeff Landry failed to end a John Bel Edwards executive order aimed at climate change. The truth, upon Jeff Landry's swearing in, the John Bel executive order was officially terminated under state law.
Don't believe the fake lies. Believe the real paychecks.
Here's what the record shows. Under Louisiana law, executive orders issued by Governor John Bel Edwards did not automatically terminate the moment Jeff Landry was sworn in on January 7, 2024.
Strike 1. Don't believe the lies about paychecks. Believe the real truth. Now let's see what's next. Here's what we said. Inside one of the most influential energy and environmental law firms in the country, Van Ness Feldman. Here, 2 key Louisiana figures converge. First, former U.S. Senator Mary Landry, now senior policy advisor at the firm, a long-standing power broker in federal energy policy, Gulf infrastructure, and carbon capture incentives, and beside her, Tanner A. Johnson, her former legislative director, now a partner at the same firm. Together, Landry and Johnson form the first link in a chain stretching from D.C. to Baton Rouge. The next connection leads directly into the previous governor's office. In 2020, Governor John Bel Edwards signed an executive order committing Louisiana to net zero emissions by 2050. Tanner Johnson served on environmental and coastal advisory bodies inside Edwards' administration, making him a direct policy link between Mary Landry's federal energy sphere and the state's emerging CCS structure. This establishes the first full bridge: Mary Landry, Tanner Johnson, John Bel Edwards. When Jeff Landry became governor in 2024, he could have immediately repealed Edwards' climate order, but he didn't. Instead, he kept the entire carbon capture framework intact. Why? Because by the time Landry took office, the same network that shaped Democratic CCS policy had also embedded itself deeply inside Republican political operations. That connection is anchored by Jason Hebert, a senior strategist from the political firm. He recently served as the chairman and executive director of the Super PAC to elect Governor Jeff Landry. Hebert serves as vice president of Louisiana Citizens for Our Future, the nonprofit built around promoting CCS policy to the public. This forms the first bipartisan chain: Mary Landry, Tanner Johnson, John Bel Edwards, Jason Hebert, Jeff Landry. Here is what they claim.
Let's fact-check this liberal propaganda. This group falsely implies an association between the Landry administration, Mary Landry, and the law firm Van Ness Feldman. Lie. The truth? Under Jeff Landry, Van Ness Feldman, and Mary Landry were let go by the state agency CPRA.
Don't believe the fake lies. Believe the real paychecks.
Here is what the record shows. Who is Louisiana Citizens for Our Future? This is the Louisiana Secretary of State record for Louisiana Citizens for a Future. The listed president is Tanner Johnson, a partner at Van Ness Feldman who works closely with the firm's senior policy advisor, Mary Landry, and previously served on Louisiana's Coastal Commission under Governor John Bel Edwards. This organization was formed in August of 2025, and the vice president was Jason Hebert, a political consultant at the political firm, who ran a super PAC supporting major Republican candidates, including Governor Jeff Landry. These are not disconnected actors. Political connections do not simply disappear. Is what we are seeing a bipartisan effort in which close political allies of Democrat Mary Landry and Republican Governor Jeff Landry have aligned through a nonprofit organization to promote the same policy agenda? Carbon capture and sequestration? This is nothing more than bipartisan propaganda.
Strike 2.
Don't believe the lies about paychecks. Believe the real truth. What's next? Here's what we said. One network, one agenda, carbon capture for Louisiana. What emerges is a single network, connecting Mary Landry, John Bell Edwards, and Jeff Landry through lawyers, lobbyists, political consultants, and coordinated nonprofits. A bipartisan machine pushing carbon capture across Louisiana. Not left, not right. A bipartisan pipeline of influence pushing carbon capture and sequestration across Louisiana. A pipeline most Louisiana landowners never voted for, and one whose impacts will remain underground, literally, yet felt for generations. This network believes Louisiana is the perfect place to bury the nation's carbon waste. The policies were built under Democrats. The messaging is driven by Republicans. The money comes from industry, and the target is your land, your aquifers, and your communities. This is the full picture. This is the network. This is what they never wanted the public to map out. Here is what they claim.
This group lies about Governor Landry and property rights, claiming that he is using eminent domain to take private land. This is false. The truth? Not 1 square inch of land has been taken. And Jeff Landry signed into law sweeping changes that strengthen landowners' rights and make eminent domain even harder. Fact, the only groups taking away property rights are groups like Save My Louisiana, who are pushing blanket bans, parish by parish. They are taking away your right to do what you want with your property.
Don't believe the fake lies. Believe the real paychecks.
Let's look at the truth. Governor Jeff Landry signed laws, passed by our legislators, that expanded the authority for private industry to seek eminent domain, expropriation, and unitization against landowners. They accuse landowners of being liars, yet have no problem misleading the public by focusing on what hasn't happened while ignoring what has already been put into law. Yes, Governor Jeff Landry signed Louisiana House Bill 492 into law in 2024, which expanded eminent domain authority to pipeline companies transporting carbon dioxide for carbon capture and sequestration projects, allowing them to use expropriation for land acquisition. Secretary Bourgeois said, "But we can't seize that opportunity unless we dramatically change our approach. The passage of Senate Bill 494 clears that path." Governor, it appears the only path it clears is the one to seize our private property. By eliminating the statutory requirements, Senate Bill 494 gives the Louisiana Economic Development Secretary flexibility to create a leadership structure that best serves the agency's current needs. Governor, how about a leadership structure that instructs the agency to serve the current needs of the people? Governor Jeff Landry signed HB 966 into law as Act 645 on June 11, 2024, authorizing the state to unitize carbon dioxide storage reservoirs, meaning the commissioner can order the pooling of privately owned pore space for carbon sequestration with just compensation conditions, even if not all owners consent. So once again, Governor Landry, just how ignorant do you believe the citizens of Louisiana are? No pipeline has been built. No carbon has been injected. That is the only reason eminent domain, expropriation, and unitization have not been used yet. Governor, our Louisiana Constitution plainly states in Article 1, Section 4, "Property shall not be taken or damaged by the state or its political subdivisions for predominant use by any private person or entity, or for transfer of ownership to any private person or entity." Please pay close attention to this next paragraph, Governor. Neither economic development, enhancement of tax revenue, or any incidental to the public shall be considered in determining whether the taking is for a public purpose. It appears the governor of Louisiana has little regard for the state constitution or the rights of the citizens it is meant to protect.
According to the lobbyist at Maga Energy Project, the only group taking away your property rights are groups like Save My Louisiana, who are pushing blanket bans parish by parish. taking away your rights to do what you want with your property. Save My Louisiana would like to personally thank every parish and municipality that has listened to the voices of its constituents and taken a stand against this blatant disregard for our constitutional rights. Despite the lies and deception displayed in the Maga Energy Project rebuttal videos, Save My Louisiana was formed by a group of Louisiana landowners who truly love our beautiful state and are willing to stand and fight, whatever comes our way, to protect every citizen's God-given rights to life, liberty, and property. This is about our families. This is about our water. This is about our land. This is about our future. Know this: with God, we will not stop until Louisiana achieves victory. We invite you to join this movement. We cannot do this alone. There are more than 40 parishes still to visit, and we plan to hold meetings in every community willing to open its doors to us. Lawsuit number 2 is coming soon. Our legal team is working diligently. Please consider visiting our website to make a contribution at savemylouisiana.org. P.S. If anyone happens to know George Soros, please feel free to let him know donations are welcome. Lawyers aren't free, and we're just a group of hardworking Louisiana landowners standing up for what's right. United we stand. Divided we fall. May God bless us all. Thank you for your time and consideration.